Kind of a different sort of video. It's not going to be a glamorous garden tour or, hey, look at all my harvest. It's going to be like all my hopes and dreams. So if you have a messy part of your homestead, if you have a place that you are dreaming about how it's going to look next year, this is a video for you. Hopefully I can encourage you that we all have those projects. We all have those years where things just sit. So I'm going to show you 5 parts of my yard that are my hopes and dreams. They don't look very pretty right now, Lord willing, because you all know how that goes. Sometimes God's plans are different than ours. We can get some changes made to make our homestead better every year, to steward our property a little bit better every year. So this is our first one. Number 1, we need a new clothesline. We had this big silver maple come down. Half of it came down and broke our pole over there. We have it currently sitting with a T-post and zip ties, because you all know T-posts and zip ties are just priceless on the homestead. And we are trying to get through in the next few weeks. We're fixing our dryer, and so we need a new clothesline next year. My hopes and dreams are a nice wooden post and some, really strong line. But here's project number 1. Here's project number 2. If you've been around long enough, you know that this was our original chicken coop. We've had this here about 4 years. But we have realized, as most of you will know, as you start to add to your homestead, you'll know what the weak points are, what the good points are. You'll know what it's like to have buildings in certain places, livestock in certain places. And so because of our predator issue and the smallness of our yard, we have to have stationary coops. So this coop, we've realized, due to the weather, it's just not sustainable in this place. Whether it's the ground is too soft, we've driven T-posts down 3 feet, whether there's no wall supporting it, we know that this is not a good enough place for chickens. So currently you can see chickens in there. We finished our coop behind our garage, video coming soon, and we are moving the house, the big roosting house that was in here, over there, video coming soon. As you can tell, there's a big gap in here. So all my hopes and dreams is that this little house will get moved to the backyard. I will show you that here in a minute. And all of this stuff on top here, all of these boards, these windows, all these poles, all of the fencing along the back will all go with that little house, and it will become a 3rd chicken run for our family. And to sell eggs at market, we will be able to have more chickens and to keep up with all of our wonderful customers. So this is number 2. All my hopes and dreams next year, this area right here will be a brand new garden space. And it may not happen, it may not happen till late summer. I have some wood I've been setting aside to build raised beds over here. We have some bricks set aside to make pathways, but the picket fence is going to stay, but everything else is going to go. So, hopes and dreams number 2. Alright, hopes and dreams number 3. This one is a big one for my heart. My sons and I built this greenhouse 3 years ago, and we have yet to be able to use it properly. Like I said back there with the chicken coop, you don't know what it's like to have certain buildings on your homestead till you build them. You don't know what it's like to have animals and coops on your homestead in certain places till it's there. And so just like with that, we realized that's not sustainable to be there with the weather and just the ground. We have realized that this garden house roof is not sustainable the way we've tried to make it. So we have a plan, and we are hoping beyond all hope, y'all, this would be a big one for me, that we can get that roof redone. We got some metal sheeting that we are going to use to put on top. Yes, we know it's going to take out some of the sun, but this building is already under a really pretty maple tree. So I think what's going to happen is she is going to become a garden house and not a greenhouse. She is going to be used to have people over, to plant seeds, to hang herbs, to have luncheon, to just have this space where I could use my wisdom and my encouragement to bless other people, but also be able to be useful since it opens right up onto the garden. I can have seedlings out here probably as early as May and have them grow. I could start my winter garden seedlings in here in the fall and put it in my garden for winter. But this, oh my hopes and dreams, I will feel like $1,000,000 as a homestead woman when this gets fixed in such a way that it is sustainable and that we can use it. This is the metal sheeting that we were blessed with. We have a whole bunch of it. We're going to use it to put on top of that roof with some wood and just trust the Lord for sunshine, because the walls are mostly windows, be able to get some sun in there. And as we go from All My Hopes and Dreams number 3 to number 4, it's right next to that greenhouse, is our garden. All of our raised beds were ruined this winter, and so we are planning next year to build new raised beds. We have a bunch of this sheeting. We ended up getting blessed with a lot more of this metal sheeting than we needed for the greenhouse, and so we are hoping, Lord willing, that we can make some raised beds with that metal sheeting. And since we have 4 rows on each side, I think we're going to just do 3 raised beds in each section so that our pathways are a little bit bigger. Our beds are going to be about, I don't know, maybe 2.5 feet tall. So we want to make sure we have enough room if we want to pull a wagon down, gather stuff up, or fill them. So, All My Hopes and Dreams number 4. This garden needs new beds. We will not plan on planting in here next year. In fact, I think I'm even going to take a winter off and starting my seeds. I think I'm just going to buy starts next year. We have a few local people that sell them, and I might just support the small businesses so I can plug in my plants over in the orchard garden and get this built. So, y'all, it's not pretty. Like I said, this is not one of those look at my garden and how wonderful this is, but look at the mushrooms. Isn't that cool? But this is reality. This is what we're dealing with, you know. There are years where all of these things end up breaking and falling apart, and you're left with a massive list by the end of the summer. And that's kind of where we're at. Some of these areas that we started with 3-4 years ago that really started this garden is now needing a whole lot more love. Couldn't help but stand under my grape arbor. Aren't they so pretty? Oh my goodness. So yes, we added these cattle panels. We got to fix the fence. It's always the thing to fix. But I was just standing here going, oh man, this is just gorgeous. I cannot wait till next year when they reach all the way to the other side and it's just this golden tunnel to walk through. So if you have grapes on your homestead, or if you're thinking about Concord grapes, I would highly recommend cattle panel trellises. It's something that we just absolutely love, and they hold up with the weight of our grapevines. Okay, number 5, hopes and dreams for 2024 is under snow. Now, really, we want to get the tree out of the way, but over here next to this barn shed, we want to build another chicken run. So that little house that I showed you in the back coop, we want to build another enclosed run that comes out to about right here, so we will have a 3rd run for more chickens, for more market people. So I guess it's a good thing I didn't get to take all that stuff down. You know, we didn't need it for this back coop behind the garage, because now most of those supplies is going to be what we use to build this enclosed run around here. And we'd love to take some of the extra metal sheeting if we have it and put on the roof of the sheds. So yes, all our hopes and dreams don't always happen the same year. Sometimes we don't get anything accomplished by the next year. We also got this free rabbit hutch. This is a bonus hope and dream. We got this free rabbit hutch from a friend. She was moving, so my hope is to get it up on legs. I'm going to paint it red and white, and I think I'm either going to stick it back here, or I'm going to scooch down these 2 rabbit hutches that I have here. Scooch this one down, and maybe plug that one right there. I'm not sure. Our other rabbit hutch is over there, and I kind of would like to have them all back here. But if I bring that one back here, The only problem is having them right here behind the shop is this is where the wind comes from. And I'd have to probably build some sort of like awning or something, but they would be, you know, the wind would be hitting them back here. So we'd have to figure out a way to keep that from happening in the wintertime. Here's another bonus for you, but this may not happen till 2030, who knows? But that shed right there, I would love for that to be a bunny barn one day where we can put our bunnies in the wintertime, especially if we have breeders. And, you know, like I said, since we have a lot of the wind comes from this end of our property, but this is the end of the property where most of our homestead animals are, we'd be able to shelter them a little bit better. So I've also considered with that rabbit hutch is putting it right here, that big one. I have perennials planted back here, but I don't mind just kind of, you know, having this be like a little rabbit area. So I've kind of considered, you know, having those two big hutches next to each other here and then just have those two small ones over there. So yeah, we'll see what happens come spring. Okay, well that's all my hopes and dreams, friends, for next year. We'll see how that goes. This year I had a whole list of the stuff I wanted to get done this spring, and by the middle of summer I started chipping away, and by fall I was like, okay lady, it's not gonna happen. So I started going through that list and doing what was important and what we were able to take care of, because ultimately we trust God with our homestead. So He provides, you know, what we need to get projects done, whether it's financially, whether it's through materials, or whether it's through help. So a lot of these things take a while, but I can give Him all my hopes and dreams, and I can trust Him with all that. So here is to encouraging any of you guys who have a messy spot in your home, and we'll just pray blessings over. Thanks friends for watching this very different kind of video. I'd love to hear what your hopes and dreams are for your homestead. Feel free to link those below, and catch you later.